boy DJ Akademiks, and check this out, man, because I recently just did a story about Monique. She came out and she said, listen, after I won the Oscars for Best Supporting Actress in the movie Precious, I got blackballed. Now, she came out saying that she didn't get any roles, or the roles she was being offered were pretty much disrespectful. Now, I told you, listen, she even admitted it, and also a producer, a director, Lee Daniels, told her, yo, listen, you're tough to work with, and to keep it real, you didn't play the game. Now, a lot of people took the game to be, man, you know what the motherfucking game is? That means she wasn't willing to sign up to get donkey fucked in gay orgies, or sign over her firstborn to get fucking penetrated by some fucking pedophile that's running all this shit. Now, I told you guys, unlike the music industry, the movie industry is really a fraternity. And the difference between a musician and a actor or actress is that a musician, like, we'll give a random example right now, like say Dejlo, say Fetty Wap, say even OT Genesis. You come to the record label already with a finished product. You got a song. So they then say, okay, we're going to monetize the song. There's no, oh, do we like you or not? Now, when you're someone with talent, and if you act like this doesn't happen, you either have never been to corporate America, or you've never had a fucking job. Now, you could have all the talent in the world, right? If you show up to a job, everybody that shows up to a job at, say, if we're talking about law firms, the Big Four or whatever the case is, or accounting firms like the Big Four, if we're talking about that, everybody shows up with nearly a 4.0 GPA. You got every fucking certificate. You have everything you need on your resume. You look like the perfect candidate. You're not the only one that looks as good. Everybody else looks as good. Now, there are these intangible things that really put you ahead of the curve. You're not owed anything. Now, when you're an actor and you show up, as I said, and I'm going to get to it because there's going to be a link in the description. You could check out Sheryl Ralph. She's black. She's speaking on Monique being blackballed. And yes, there is race involved to some extent, right? Anytime a black person is really denied an opportunity to go into an entity that's really ran and kind of also monetized by what people would call white America, of course, there's some race involved. However, that's not the whole picture. If you look at that to be the whole picture, you're the person that's giving yourself excuses not to go anywhere. Now, basically, she said, hey, if these people need to really realize, why should they invest their money in you to then think you will give a return on their investment? That's very important. Now, to some people who have no business sense, right? No fucking business sense. You would probably say, no, fuck all that shit. It's all about getting donkey fucked by some white old guy. Now, if you think that these billion-dollar companies, right, they're making decisions on who the fuck they could penetrate in a pedophilic manner, you're fucking retarded. Now, you got to realize, for someone that doesn't have a name, right? Monique comes in, she wins an award, she has the credibility. Now, everybody's looking at her like, okay, you got some credibility. That means you could actually probably do the art form of acting. Now, there's a lot of people that could do the fucking art form of acting. Did you see the fucking Oscars? The amount of actors that showed up? So why should we pick you, given that you don't have a box office draw? We're not talking about Monique, who was pulled like fucking like Denzel or Will Smith. $300 million in box office sales. We're not talking about that level of a actor. She doesn't have that much of a name. Now, if you use somebody with a smaller name, you got to pump more into marketing, more into advertising. However, if they nail it and they really could get the movie to the point where it's selling itself, word of mouth, like think about The Hangover, even though it was more about the storyline than the actors, you do it does the job for you. So why would somebody pick you if they think you have a bad attitude? They think you think you're bigger than you are. You're trying to overprice yourself, talking about you won't do interviews, you won't do charities. It's part of the game. Now, most people just hear the game and they think instantly, some demonic shit. This is the industry. This is kind of how they have people get brought in. Kevin Hart's in, and I saw people talking about, well, didn't you see they were threatening to blackball Kevin Hart? This is the difference between Kevin Hart and actually Monique. Kevin Hart has a multi-movie deal with Sony. If you don't know, if you didn't read those emails, he has a multi-movie deal. So he signed, and he did an interview confessing this. He signed for like 3 or 4 years up. So until like 2020, he's good. So, I mean, even if he's going to get blackballed, that would be down the line. And to keep it real, what he was doing, he was just negotiating to try to get more money. Now, it's a difference to negotiate after you've already agreed that there's going to be a deal to get more money because the movie is already going to be done. You're trying to get more money to promote it or whatever the case is, rather than overpricing yourself and not getting the part at all. Or rather than having a bad attitude and not even being looked at for the role at all. That's Kevin Hart. He's trying to get some more money on the back end, which is, we know these movies are making millions of dollars. Monique, she's not even in the door yet. She's over here talking about requests and she's pricing herself out ridiculous. Two different things. So check it out, man. There's a link in the description. You go listen to what Sheryl Ralph has to say. And if you really still do believe that, hey, it's all about being donkey fucked by a bunch of gay white men, that's the game and that's the Illuminati ritual, let me know. Because, listen, you guys can't be that naive. I'm not saying that it has nothing to do with race. Some people are like, oh, you just want to sell out. You just want to mainstream. Listen, this is a industry. If you don't want to be in it, just like the music industry, you got to be independent. If you're not going to do everything yourself, you can't complain about the structure that does exist. In anything, there exists a structure. You don't walk up to fucking McDonald's and say, yo, I want to be the regional chair because I just do this motherfucking thing. I got good grades in class. No. You're either going to have to work your way up or you're going to really need to have the favor of some people who will really have power to put you in those positions. So you guys get in the comment box, man. It was ridiculous to see so many people just pretty much say she wasn't willing to sell her soul. I mean, I'm not saying that, and let's get it straight. The term sell your soul, I'm guessing people mean or think sell your soul is you're going to do things that's beyond your morals, right? I'm not going to say that doesn't happen because people will do things to get more money. But in this case, it doesn't look like that was the thing. And to keep it real, if you think about it, the person who told her that she was blackballed looked like he blackballed her himself. We're talking about Lee Daniels. He didn't cast her in The Butler. He didn't even put her in fucking Empire. And she apparently had those offers and he took him off the table. He's black. So you guys check that out. And somebody asked what was blackball. What's the meaning? Blackball is really saying, or blacklisted, is that people just won't work with you. People, if they're casting for a movie and they're auditioning people, they're not going to pick you. They're not going to offer you to come audition. If you did come audition, they're not going to pick you. That's because nobody wants to work with you. Right? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like. Definitely subscribe. It's your boy DJ Akademiks. I'm out.